it is not us, I'm afraid. Just as we rejoin you, there's been no ups and downs, but Lollipops has just broken his duck. He's now in the pits for his second stop, and Chromedix follows. So this is where it's all going to happen, guys.
We do have Porsches running, 4 Porsches running in your top 5 right now. So we'll see where Twitch Wake does. He comes round for another lap then, so he will be your race leader on lap number 34. As Lollipops is leaving the pit exit right now. So where does he come out in terms of track position? He is absolutely miles ahead of PTX Guga for a start, because PTX Guga is...
I don't think that was ever in doubt. I think PTX Guga for me is looking for the battle for third. It's the Twitch Wake Guga battle that I'm interested in, I think.
Welshue, something that I've just picked up on now is PTX Guga has got the jump on Redfly. He has made that position stick in the pit stop phase.
Do you think Redfly and that Lexus just stayed out a little bit long? You said it kind of doesn't like to stay out too long on tyres, but I think maybe it just suffered, should have come in a bit earlier.
So it's all going to be now on Twitch Wake, and Texas MC is into the pit, so he is going to drop back down the order now. It is all going to be on Twitch Wake, who I'm riding on board with right now in the P1 position. How far, how deep into the race does he want to go now? Because the longer he goes, the slower he's going to get, the more he's going to fall down, as everybody else is on that fresh rubber to finish the race with 21 minutes remaining.
For me, you know, I'm just looking at where both of these drivers are, where Guga and Twitch Wake are in this lap, and it's going to be close on that pit exit, you know. I think Guga might just have this, if he keeps it clean.
As Wake
and
does
Wake
come into the pits, yes.
Into the pits. Both of us couldn't jump on that quick enough. We've got 2 Porsches absolutely on it. So I think Guga's got this. He's heading into... he's going to be heading onto the Wellington Straight any minute now.
Wake's pit stop isn't going to be that long. He's only got a fuel for 20 minutes. 21 minutes.
Well, I'm going to watch Twitch Wake. If you...
I'll ride on board with Guga.
Guga, I'll let you know when we see this Porsche leave the garage. He's only just sat on the box. I think Guga's got this by some distance.
Guga is coming round the final turn then. He is coming on to the start line, finish straight to start lap number 34 or 35, is it? As the Delta updates itself. It looks like he's going to have the jump on Twitch Wake.
Yeah, by some distance. By some distance. Twitch Wake is still... He's just come off the jacks.
Yep.
He's just leaving the pit box now.
Nope, he's too far behind then. He's going to be a good 10 seconds behind PTX Guga as they resume racing.
Someone is going to have to wrestle the award out of Guga's hand at the moment for me. He's just played an absolute blinder. He's made positions up off every pit stop.
So Twitch Wake has actually dropped right down to P6. So he's lost positions to Guga, Redfly and GT Welsh.
GT Welsh has come back from nowhere, hey?
He has indeed. After he had that damage early on, he's got his head down and he's found himself back up into P5 then.
Please give a like to this video if you can, if you've joined us back again after that technical glitch, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This of course is the Coach Dave Academy endurance race with SOP Motorsport, and we are looking for a driver of the day now, guys. In the comment section I want to hear who your driver of the day is, because we are going to have to be giving a Coach Dave Academy prize to one of these, very many of them actually well deserving drivers.
Indeed, that is right for you. I am still riding on board with TSR GT Welsh. He's running in P5. I just wanted to see how he was progressing as he does get a bit sideways. I just wanted to see how he was progressing against Twitch Wake, because he made a pit stop really early on, GT Welsh, so his tyres are going to be dead by the end of the race.
Yeah, you think so. But just a note on PTX Google as well, he's 10 seconds behind Chromedix. I mean, there's 18 minutes left.
That's going to be a tough ask. That's going to be a tough ask.
It is. Has Chromedix been tested yet though? He's just kind of been settled in there on his own. Could he have fallen asleep at the wheel a little bit? Could we see Guga take a couple of large bites out of that lead?
Well, this is
might
it.
Be asking too much.
This is it. Lollipop's in the lead. 26.9 seconds is the gap to him in ERS Chromedix. And PTX Guga is a further 10 seconds, 11.8 seconds as the Delta updates itself behind ERS Chromedix. So they're your top three runners and riders. Pretty spread out as PTX Guga just turns his lights on as the sun is setting around Silverstone. And Redfly somehow found himself 10 seconds further back on Guga.
Yeah. And just a couple of battles to watch out for then. We have Frank Lucid all over the Ferrari of Lopez, and for me that's a great battle because that's Ferrari on Ferrari, and who doesn't like to see two of the same car go in toe to toe. We've also got Twitch Wake all over GT Welsh, really good battle, and AMG Dens for the battle for 8th place with MSX. MSX always seems to be in the scrap, doesn't he?
He does indeed. He's always there or thereabouts. He's managed to make his way back up past AMG Dens then at the final pit stop phase, because he did fall roughly 2 seconds behind AMG Dens. So he's he obviously hasn't come in to fix that front end of his, because otherwise he would have fallen right off the back of AMG Dens in the pit stop window.
Yeah.
But I just want to point out, Stu, we've got Twitch Wake and TSR GT Welsh. These are actually teammates. So Twitch Wake is actually TSR Wake, and TSR are an esports racing team that are racing within SOP Motorsport.
Do you think we're going to see team orders? Are they going to settle in behind each other, or are we going to see
there's going to be there's going to be gloves off. There's going to be no love lost between these two right now.
I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. It doesn't matter if you're teammates or not. You're both out there. You're both racing for track position. Go for it.
Exactly. And this is the closest battle, so we'll stay on board with Twitch Wake right now, and we'll see if we can find his way past GT Welsh as his tyres are going to start to be hurting now in these final 15 minutes. Yeah,
no doubt, and as the fuel runs off on that Porsche as well, how close to the red line as he decides to run that Porsche, or has he gone with an extra weight? You've got to think the track temperature now down to around 10 degrees, so that's going to be putting some pressure on those, certainly the inside.
He's looking at the inside, Stu, he's looking at the inside, he can't make it work this time round.
It's a risky place to make a move there. It's a short, hard braking zone. You've got to be really ballsy there. There's only one line through that corner as well. So it's probably sensible that he backed out of that one.
So they can see Redfly just ahead in that P4 position.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're just going to be pushing each other along now to catch Redfly. 3.8 seconds is the gap.
You'd hope they'd have some kind of communication now. It's like we have a chance here of both finishing in the top 5 if we just knuckle down and give each other a little bit of room, but we'll see what happens. There's AMG Dens for the battle for 8th place.
MSX is all wide.
In fact. Yeah.
MSX is getting it all wrong then.
As we go through Abbey. AMG Dens might want to sniff into this heavy braking zone.
He's going to do the old switcheroo. No, he hasn't got the legs on him this time.
Really nice driving there by MSX, to be honest. Kept it really tidy. You couldn't have been much quicker through that complex. And he's actually gained out onto the Wellington straight.
Indeed. Yeah, he's pulled a bit of a gap then through that complex of corners. As indeed, GT Welsh and Wake are the gap is now only 2.8 seconds to red fly, so I'm wondering if that Lexus is starting to struggle on those tyres now. They do tend to be hard on their tyre wear, does the Lexus machines.
An interesting point in that TSR battle, Simon. I am hearing from one of the other TSR drivers that they are in the communication loop with those two drivers, and there is radio silence. all they can hear is the gear shift and the engine tone. So these two are not talking to each other. They are not revealing their plans unless it's Morse code. All you can hear is the clicking of the gear shift. So these two are racing.
Which is absolutely fantastic to see.
Well, as long as it all ends with smiles and a handshake at the end, and not tears and spilt milk, we will see.
We are into the final 12 minutes of action then. Track temperature's down to 10 degrees. It must be approaching around 8 PM at Silverstone then for this race. The sun is setting.
Switch wake having another little sniff there.
As again, the gap is down to 2.3, Stu. Red flies, that gap is coming down ever so slightly every single lap. You just imagine at the minute, because Twitch Wake, every time he's got past someone, he's just unleashed a bit more pace.
Yeah.
So
I think
just
with Twitch, he's a sensible follower. He doesn't reveal his true pace. He doesn't want to be all over the back of someone and risk ruining his own race. He waits for a clean overtake, and then he uses the clean air to absolutely fly away, and that's what's put him in this good position. But GT Welsh, to me, looks like he has the minerals for this one.
TSR Jimmy in the chat saying Welsh offered to let him past, but Jimmy said no. they've got to battle it out.
Yeah, they've got to catch red fly. They've got to do this now. They've got 10 minutes. They've got to work together a little bit. Look, they've got 2 seconds, and they're on the back of that Lexus. That Lexus is now thinking, what? I had a massive gap. And now all of a sudden he's going to have to switch engine modes up and have a little word with himself, because he's going to be under pressure from 2 TSR guys, 2 very experienced TSR guys in a minute.
He is indeed, and Red Fly's just dropping down the order ever so slightly, because he was running in P3 quite comfortably. He did have a 10-second gap to Guga, but it all went wrong for him during the final pit stop phase.
Guga's a pit stop hero. He's done it twice.
He's done it twice indeed.
I think before pit stop 1 he was running what, like 8th, 9th, I don't know, and then he's up to 3rd and a well-deserved podium spot. I mean, can you guys in the comments let us know who you think deserves driver of the day? At the moment, I know whose camp I'm in.
That gap is down to 1.1 seconds. GT Welsh and Twitch Wake on Red Fly 143. So they are going to be breathing down his neck in the final few laps.
This is going to be a hell of a 10 minutes, you know. A hell of a 10 minutes.
And again, it's one thing catching someone. It's a completely different ball game trying to get past. So it's going to be an absolutely amazing battle for P4.
Totally right, and that's going to come down to the last couple of laps, I reckon. And we also still have that battle that's been raging on for what seems like an eternity. AMG Dens and MSX.
Yep, indeed, I'll ride back on board with AMG Dens. 0.5 is the gap. MSX is getting out of sorts. He's having a bit of a problem this race as MSX with his McLaren. He can't seem to quite get to grips with it.
I just think it's pressure. He's always great when he's sitting behind someone. I just think he perhaps suffers a little when he's got someone in his mirrors, and when you've got such a massive shape as that big glaring Mercedes in your mirrors, you've got to be thinking at some point, if you're going 5-6 laps and you just can't shake that tail, you've got to be thinking, what do I have to do?
And I think even though these guys are running in P8 and P9, they're going to come away after this race and their faces are going to be beaming with smiles, because they've had a massive, fantastic battle all race long, and it's been fantastic to see that they haven't swiped each other off the track.
There's no doubt, Dens and MSX are raced so close. They're going to probably
get right round the outside, Stu. He didn't.
They're going to be best of friends. They're going to be going for picnics after this, I think.
I'm going to ride back on board with Twitch Wake as he's only 0.7 behind Redfly then. With 8 minutes remaining, it's taken 1 lap to close up to the back of Redfly 143, who's really struggling in that Lexus then.
Well, you say struggling, but he's closing the gap on third place PTX Guga. This line is shifting towards the third place battle. 8 minutes left, 5 seconds separates third and fourth position. Less than a second separates 5th to 7th position. This could become a massive battle for third.
I'm not going to curse PTX Guga in P3 right now. He's got a 5.2 second gap. I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh, Twitch Wake is round. Twitch
He's
Wake has
round
spun out
again.
and he has taken.
Oh, no way.
And he has taken GTR Welsh with him.
Oh no. Through Maggots and Beckett's again, isn't it, Stu? Twitch Wake got it all wrong there in the first pit stop phase as well.
It's the Porsche. It's the Porsche through Maggots and Beckett's. It happens all the time, and they have just lost.
He is going to be kicking himself.
Red Fly now. Well, I think GT Welsh is going to be kicking it.
Well, yes, he's going to be the one doing the kicking when they get back home.
For me, you've got a 6-second deficit now on Red Fly. That's game over. Red Fly's going to be laughing now, and he's just got 5 seconds to do Guga on. 5 seconds.
What would have been a fantastic battle for P4, potentially P3, as in one corner been wiped away from us.
Twitch Wake, what have you done? It's that weight transition, you know. The Porsche just hates it, especially when that fuel's coming off. You head into Maggots and Beckett's and the car the rear wheels just get overexcited and they want to take over the front wheels, and it happens. At least we saw it in the first race as well. At least a couple of Porsches having dramas at Maggots and Beckett's too, especially as these temperatures cool. 10 degrees on track, close racing. Tagged his teammate. Hasn't cost them the race though, and that's the most important thing. They've still got 20 seconds on Mr. Death Zone behind, as we probably should catch up with AMG Dens and MSX. Indeed
I will then. I'll ride on board with MSX. He's got AMG Dens only 0.1 seconds behind him then. These two have been inseparable all race, and it's coming down to the final 6 minutes. Who's going to be your P8 and P9 finisher?
For me, AMG Dens is...
Wow, I'm just going to stop you there, Stu. I'm going to ride on board with Ian. Look at this gaggle of cars. You've got Ian, you've got Frank, you've got Lopez, you've got Texas. This is your battle for your P10 position, all separated by less than half a second. It has indeed come out of nowhere.
2 abreast at Luffield. As Texas is getting stuck right into that as well. Love that guy.
Oh, Lopez is right on the inside curb there, trying to defend that position from Texas.
Lopez has suffered out of this, but is he going to hold? I just want to see what happens with Lopez behind as he defends against Texas, because this looks like an absolute ding-dong battle.
Frank has gone right round the outside of Ian through Maggots and Beckett's, and he's made it stick. Wow. Lopez
and Texas is having a sniff up the inside of Lopez, and he spun him out.
Contact!
That is definitely going to be looked at after the race. It looked like Texas just nibbled the inside of Lopez and spun him round then. To me,
it was a bit of a half spin. It looks like Texas has waited for Lopez during that little bit of contact, and they're back racing again. If I was Texas, I would have conceded that place to Lopez, because I would have just sent both of us into a bit of a half spin. But once again, we're robbed of a fantastic battle for the final P10 position.
As Lopez runs absolutely miles out of the circuit.
He does indeed, yeah. So Frank Lucid then has been a massive beneficiary of all this. He's pulled away massively on TDI, Ian and Texas and Lopez then. He's
well, the endurance veteran suffered at the start. He's got himself a P10.
Indeed he has. We'll ride on board with AMG Dens once again then.
Yeah.
Who's all over. He just can't find a way past MSX. MSX is putting that McLaren in all the right spots, and he's just denying AMG Dens that opportunity.
AMG Dens is, he's got to find a way. I'm wondering if he's run a bit too much fuel. I'd expect to see AMG Dens really making an effort up to Hanger Straight, but he hasn't been able to so far. But we'll see. A couple of laps left.
I'm just going to ride on board with Lollipop, Stu. He's your race leader. He hasn't really had much screen time because he's just been out there by himself since GT Welsh got it all wrong. He was challenging for the lead. But Lollipops has come round to complete lap number 42. He is on lap number 43 with 3 minutes remaining. He's got almost a 20-second cushion to ERS Chromatics in your P2. With another 24 seconds further back is PTX Guga, which has actually something gone wrong with PTX Guga because Redfly is only 3 seconds behind him now.
Well, Redfly's been catching him the whole time. He was only 5 seconds away about 3 laps to go. I don't think it's closing as quickly as that kind of storyline makes out. I think there's 2.5 minutes. PTX Guga should be able to maintain that gap, unless he makes a little mistake as these tyres cool. 9 degrees now on track.
Yep, go on, Stu, go on.
I will just make a final call for anyone watching the stream. We are still looking for a driver of the day. We both have a couple of ideas, but we could do with a little bit of influence from the crowd, if you wouldn't mind letting us know just what you think.
Well, personally, my preference is going to be PTX Guga right now. He's although he hasn't been running at the front of the field for the whole race, he's made his 2 pit stop strategy work to his benefit, and he's just found himself crawling up the field, and he's in a net P3 all through perfect pit stop strategy.
I'd agree with you. For me, if AMG Dens could make a pass on MSX, it would be an interesting candidate as well. And MSX himself has been all over the place. But again, we've got people in the comments suggesting Lollipop. Obviously, what a hell of a race he's had, and Chromatics as well. A brilliant performance he's had. And yeah, someone just reminded us Chromatics started 7th position.
That is true. He has made his way up into P2 from P7, so it's also been a fantastic drive from ERS Chromatics. I mean, there's just been too many good drives to choose from in this race, if we're being honest.
Yeah, we're going to need some people on the comments to start vocalising your opinions now, because we are torn.
I mean, the leader is on his final lap then. Lollipops leads them round for the final time. The sun has set. It is 9 PM at the Silverstone circuit. He's got half a lap to go then. Is your race leader. As we have a few other people in the chat then. Chromatics seems to be a favourite.
Yeah, Chromatics is getting a lot of love. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he has run an absolutely stunning race, and in fairness, Chromatics has closed the gap on Lollipop to 16 seconds, so he's raced a hell of a race. As
exactly,
AMG Dens
Alex,
is only one tenth away from MSX.
He's at the inside, Stu. We're riding on board with AMG. He's found his way past on the very final lap. MSX is holding it round the outside. Through. He's going to have the inside line coming through this corner as MSX. This is fantastic racing.
Oh my goodness, MSX is holding on.
He does hold on. AMG, they're side by side.
The cops.
AMG does have to concede that place, does he?
But we're going into Maggots Beckett now.
Oh, he's finding it. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, he's just had to back out a bit, Stu. Coming around. Oh, yeah, MSX is all wrong.
He's got a lot of laps to do it though. He's still got that big run down.
I am just going to ride on board with Lollipops. We just have to acknowledge the leader has finished the race. He had a commanding lead of 20 seconds over the rest of the field. ERS Chromedix does come across the line in your P2 position today, as MSX in P8 does seem to have secured that position from AMG Dens then, as AMG is going for a last lap lunge right round the outside. What a fantastic move that was.
He's done it. There's still half a lap to go. And we can say that Frank Lucid has now joined the battle.
Indeed, yeah, these guys have been battling all race long, and it's allowed the rest of the field to close up on them. We do have PTX Guga, we have Redfly and GT Welsh all across the finish line. Twitch Wake comes home in P6 after his 2 spins at Maggots and Beckett's this race.
I have 2 drives of the day here. I really do. I can't pick between them. For me, it's Guga and now AMG Dens. Dens is just... And Frank Lucid is through on MSX. Frank Lucid has just taken MSX and run wide. Can MSX take that position back?
Fantastic battle right to the finish line as Frank gets it. Oh, they have a bit of contact. They have a bit of contact. He won't be happy with that. There's coming across the line.
Tap there.
I mean, AMG Dens has got to be happy with that P8. He had a fantastic battle all race long. That's going to feel like a race win for him. Right. Everyone else has come across the finish line. They're on their cool down lap.
The people there were some good calls for Chromedix. For me, I'm thinking Guga or AMG. You've got to have the final say here, Simon.
I mean, we can't deny the public vote, can we?
We can, but do you want to?
Personally, my top 3 would be Chromedix, Guga and AMG Dens as well. I mean, in which order they come in, I wouldn't be able to say right now. Is they've all had their own fantastic race in different ways.
So are we going for the crowd vote? Or are you going to man up and pick a winner? I can't.
My heart wants to say Guga.
My heart wants to say AMG Dens. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we might have to go and talk about this after the race. I have to say a massive thank you to Coach Dave Academy, and most of all to you guys watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining SOP Motorsport with the endurance race, the first endurance race at Silverstone. It's been a blast.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We will have another endurance race next month. We hold 1 monthly endurance race every month, and our next one will be at Kyalami for the 1.5 hour endurance Coach Dave Academy has sponsored SOP Motorsport event. Thank you very much for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen.
Bye bye.